In the past, we have looked at playing in key, in other words, establishing what key a song is in and sticking to that scale. That is what most lead guitarists will do when playing a lead fill or a guitar solo. However, at times you can really enhance the music you are playing by altering the scale you are using. For example, if your chord progression is a 1-4-5, in the key of C, this would be C, F, and G. Naturally, the 1 chord dictates what key we are in. So we already know we could use the C major scale to solo over this progression. However, you can also change keys with the chord changes. So when the chord progression changes from C to F, you can also change to the F major scale. You can go a step further and keep soloing with the F scale when the chord progression switches back to the C chord. That's because C is the 5 chord in the key of F. However, you'll want to change back to the C scale when the chord progression moves to G. And that's because G includes a B note, which would clash with the B flat, which is the 4th interval in the F major scale. So, in that case, when you do switch to the G, you can either switch to the G major scale to solo over the G chord, or you could switch back to the C scale. Now, these are some advanced concepts, and I'm just kind of throwing them at you to give you an idea of what you can experiment with to enhance your leads beyond just playing in key. Now, the major scale might be a bit too busy for your liking, in which case you might want to use the major pentatonic over each chord. So you can use the C major pentatonic over the C chord. When you switch to F, there you have the F major pentatonic over the F chord and the G major pentatonic over the G chord. And although the chords are all major, the minor scale might not work, but the minor pentatonic, as we know, will give the music a rock or blues quality. So over C, try a C minor pentatonic. Over F, although it's a major chord, use the F minor pentatonic. And over G, use the G minor pentatonic. You can also use the major modes over any major chord. So over a C major chord, you can use the C Ionian, the C Lydian, and the C Mixolydian. I'm calling these major modes because the root, 3rd, and 5th make up a major chord. In this case, C, E, and G, which make up a C chord. There are also 3 minor modes, which can be played over the minor chords. So if we have a C minor, we can play the Dorian, Phrygian, and Aeolian modes. I call these minor modes because the 1 flat 3 and 5, or 1 minor 3rd and 5th, make up the minor chord, or C, E flat, G in this example. The Locrian mode is built on the 7th scale degree, and it's 1, flat 3rd, flat 5th make up a diminished chord. The Locrian mode works best over a diminished chord. However, as we discussed in the past, there are times when you can sneak it in over other chords. These concepts are beyond basic, so exploration and experimentation is going to be your best bet. At this point, I think we've gone far beyond the scope of an easy DVD title. But I do want to cover a few more things and allow you to decide if you want to explore advanced lead guitar concepts on your own. As we learned in the past, the more simplified your rhythm guitar or chord progression is, the more you can do with your lead guitar work. For example, over a single power chord, you can use almost any scale or mode that we have learned. The only contrasting group of notes would be the Locrian mode, since it has a flat 5th, which would clash with the 5th interval used in a power chord. If you have the opportunity, you can tailor your lead guitar sections ahead of time, allowing you to use more scales. For example, if the song or chord progression you are playing over uses major and minor chords, or even 7th or extended chords, you can write your lead guitar section to only include power chords, which would give you the ability to broaden the scales you use and to write a lead guitar solo. If you are the only guitar player, you can ask the bass player and/or the keyboard player to only play single root notes or bass notes in place of full chords for your lead section. Over any major chord, you can play the major scale, major pentatonic, and at times minor pentatonic. As we know, the Ionian mode is the same as the major scale, but we can also play the Lydian mode and Mixolydian mode. If you start playing extended chords, such as 7ths, major 7ths, 9ths,